there can be situations where you are exclusive with somebody that you're not sleeping with. Like, I think that's a really sweet thing, especially if you don't even need to, like, have the conversation about it and you just fall into it and, like, just tell a girl, like, I don't want to be seeing anybody else besides you. Like, I think that's amazing. But it's not always like that.
Right. Well, Jesse Solomon, welcome. I have to call you by your full name, right?
Happy to be here.
Happy to be here. Welcome. Loving you this season on the show.
Thank you.
What's it been like as a newbie watching this back?
It's been fun.
Yeah.
The highs are high, the lows are low, but it's been a net positive experience.
Yeah. How has life changed for you in the past few weeks, months?
I loved life before.
Sure.
I still love it now.
Okay, good.
I would say I've always been a really happy guy, and I'm really happy right now.
Good.
But yeah, just people recognize me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, do I know you from somewhere?
Right.
Or are you a fan of the show?
You? Yes. Yeah. I love it. Is it easier now to get dates, harder to get dates, or is it about the same?
I've never had a problem.
Right. You've never had a problem, yes.
But I would say it's even easier with just like the influencer-y.
Sure.
Before you're slip sliding into DMs, like you're getting a response maybe 1 out of 10 times. Now I would say it's maybe like 2 or 3.
Okay. Well,
which is
people
like
are slip sliding into your DMs, I'm sure.
Yeah, a lot of that. But 10-20% increase on the DM hit rate adds up.
It does add up. Yeah.
It's compounding interest over time. Who knows where I'll be in 10 years.
How many dates have you been on this week?
What day is today?
Today's Wednesday.
0.
Okay. Is that normal?
Sorry, I had lunch with a girl yesterday.
And how did that go?
It was great.
It was great?
Yeah, not for me. But she was,
to the next.
Yeah, she was very sweet. We had a lovely lunch, and I'm glad I did it.
Yeah. So how do you meet everybody then? Are you meeting, is it through DMs, at bars?
Yeah, I would say dating apps give you options, and then I just go to Instagram to make sure that they are not a catfish.
Okay.
And not as they look like their photos in the dating apps, but as in they're a human who exists.
Yeah.
And then I meet a lot of people just being out and about, I would say. Yeah. I don't get a lot of friend setups.
Okay.
Maybe Ciara had a point.
I was going to say, has Ciara introduced you to any of her friends?
No. Paige actually did try to set me up with one girl.
How'd that go?
I really appreciated it. I didn't want the setup.
Okay. All right. Well, it could be a little awkward if it doesn't work out since she's her friend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to make sure that I would treat her with the utmost respect. And I would treat any girl with respect, obviously, but just I wanted to be into it if I was gonna.
Are you looking for something more serious, or are you just looking for a good time, not a long time?
For eventually, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But right now, I'm just looking for the right girl, and if it's not the right girl, then I'm not gonna waste anyone's time.
Well, that's good. I mean, I know that I'm sure a lot of people have asked you about the trash bag comment. How does that sit with you now?
It's endearing.
Yeah.
Ciara's a close friend at this point, so I think she just felt so close to me that she was able to really dig deep. But she can be spicy.
Yeah, she can be
she's hot
spicy.
and cold,
yeah.
and I think she just was not feeling it, and she let me know.
Did it put anything in perspective for you about how people might view your dating habits?
Not particularly, because I was who I am the whole summer, and I was upfront about it. I think it just upset the girls that I was I'm looking for the one, but I'm gonna just date casually in the meantime, where I should have just been I'm just looking to have some fun this summer. If I meet someone, I meet someone.
Yeah.
So I was saying the same thing, just backwards.
Yeah. How would you rate Ciara as a kisser?
10.
10?
Yeah.
Were you not expecting that at all?
I actually forgot about it until I saw the footage, because, I was in the middle of a cancer scare. I wasn't and it was just a friendly kiss.
Yeah, it was just a friendly kiss.
What's to say I wasn't just a cheek, and you just it was just a brief fleeting moment.
A brief fleeting moment.
Yeah.
How are you feeling?
I feel great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel strong as an ox.
Strong as an ox. This was a tough episode for you. Like you said, you were kind of going through a cancer scare.
Yeah.
What was it like for you watching that back?
Not as bad as I thought.
Okay.
Yeah, I was really scared because West and I were outside and I was bawling for like a long time. And to see it just condense down into like a few seconds was not so bad.
How long were you out there for?
Like 30, 40 minutes. Yeah.
It kind of just came out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wasn't up to me.
Yeah.
I would have held it in if I could have, but I think it just, there is emotions when you bottle them up. Sometimes they spill over.
Yeah. But the appointment went well? Cancer-free?
Yes.
That's all good.
Yeah, thank God.
Great. That's congratulations. Well, because you thought that maybe it came back, right? What made you think that?
Yeah, there was the weekend before where I wasn't at the house. I had felt something, and I was trying to just, tell myself that it was nothing and it was normal, whatever. And then, I mean, you'll see on the show what happens, but it was like I found something, the doctor found another thing. It was just like...
But we're good now.
Yep.
Good to hear. And why was it... why did you feel so comfortable with West to kind of open up to him, and how? It seems like the two of you have formed really a great friendship.
Yeah, I mean, you just see snippets of us driving together for, 20 seconds, but those are like 3.5, 4 hour rides back and forth every weekend.
Yeah.
And then West and I were hanging in the city, so he became a fast friend.
Yeah.
And then if you're in a situation like this where you're being filmed and whatever, like you just naturally form a kind of bond, I feel like. But he sucked it out of me.
Yeah.
He just saw that I wasn't being myself, and he's like, are you good? Are you good? And he pried, and he was right.
He was right,
Yeah.
Have you had a lot of people reach out to you since you opened up about this, and we were able to help a lot of other people as well?
Yeah, the messages have really been such a rewarding piece of this whole thing, and a big reason why I wanted to do the show was to kind of spread that awareness and, the message that if you are going through something similar, you're a kid with cancer, there's light at the end of the tunnel, you're going to get through this, and you're going to be able to, go party in the Hamptons with your friends someday.
Totally, because you went in for a regular routine checkup, and then you're kind of like your life got turned upside down in an instant.
Totally.
Yeah.
I was shocked because I'd been completely healthy up until that moment. So it was a great experience, and the cast and Bravo and NBC, like everybody just wanted what was best for me. Like it got real really fast.
It did.
And it wasn't like this is for TV. It was like my actual life. Right. So
did you ever think about removing yourself from the situation this summer then?
It just was over like a few day span, so it wasn't like maybe if I had gotten sick or something I would have. But
I think you said that like getting cancer was the best thing that ever happened to you, right? Why did you say that?
I think I'm just like eternally grateful for everything that happens in my life. I'm just such a happy guy, and it gives you perspective, and I don't know, maybe I'm just like not as scared to die. Like it's like a really freeing thing. Obviously I wish that I didn't have like chemo and all the terrible things that it can do to your body, but otherwise, like mentally, it's been great.
Yeah, right. No, I mean, and then what advice? I'm sure a lot of people reach out to you that are going through something similar. What advice do you usually give them?
A lot of people are like, how are you able to be so open about it? Like, I think there's a stigma associated specifically with testicular cancer that's like not sexy, but I've just never thought about it that way.
Yeah.
Like, it's the most common cancer in young men. And so people need to know about it, because if you find it early, you have a great prognosis, and it's very treatable. So, you know, I just tell people to hang in there, because there's brighter days ahead. You know, it's bad now, but it won't always be this way.
Well, I'm glad you are healthy and sitting here and on Summer House, because I feel like this cast just gels so well together.
Yeah.
Did you feel it, like, as soon as you kind of, like, stepped in there?
It felt like it was gelling really well, and then I showed up.
Not true.
No, you weren't there.
Oh, no, really?
They cut some stuff where I, like, took everybody to this party and left people
Oh, really?
at the party to hang out with my other friends, and, like, Danielle and Gabby were like, this guy's a asshole, and it was hairy.
So it wasn't a good first impression then?
No, terrible first impression. I was like, did I make a mistake going on the show? I was like, I thought it'd just be like a fun time in the Hamptons with my friends.
Totally.
But, they came around on me.
Yeah, well, you had a couple missteps with Paige, too, when you were, kind of flirting with her a little too hard. Just looking back at that, does it make you cringe a little bit?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot that those things that I said to her at the party. I was just kind of like a little aggressive, came in a little hot, and I probably wouldn't do that if I had to go back and do it again, but it was all in good fun.
Yeah.
I didn't mean anything
But you
by
were
it.
you're cool.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Craigie Beast and I are... I was in Charleston a couple weeks ago, and he reached out and was like, I'll try to hang out with you, but they were filming Southern Charm. And,
yeah. Well, that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. And speaking of Ciara and West, there's a love connection in the house. What did you make of all of this? Do you think that they are good together?
Yeah, the chemistry is palpable. So I was happy for them, and you kind of see me trying to progress the relationship because I just either wanted them to go their separate ways or like be dating. So I thought they were good together.
Yeah. What are your thoughts on him saying that he didn't want to be exclusive with somebody that he's not sleeping with?
There can be situations where you are exclusive with somebody that you're not sleeping with. Like, I think that's a really sweet thing, especially if you don't even need to, like, have the conversation about it and you just fall into it and, like, just tell a girl, like, I don't want to be seeing anybody else besides you. Like, I think that's amazing. But it's not always like that.
Right.
So I get where he was coming from. And how is he, he's... Like he said, he's a warm-blooded male. Like, he's a horny guy. He's 28. He's in the Hamptons with his friends. Like, he's not just going to go celibate for this girl that he's not sure if it's going anywhere.
Yeah. Do you think that he kind of dug himself a hole by doing this? I mean, we don't know if they're still together. I've tried to get it out of him. He won't tell us. But do you think that he kind of maybe had a little misstep by doing that? Because we see in the after show, Ciara wasn't too happy about those comments.
Yeah, I mean, what's a guy supposed to do, Like, he's a new guy on a TV show. There's this Victoria's Secret model girl in front of him. He explored the relationship. He tried. He was trying to be a good guy. He maybe could have, like, stopped texting other girls a little earlier. But, like, you live and you learn.
Yeah, no, definitely. I'm sure, like, that's a whirlwind of an experience. Victoria's Secret model, summer house, lots going through your mind.
Yeah. I mean, he had good intentions, I thought.
Yeah, definitely. And then we see the demise of Carl and Lindsay's relationship. As I know you said that you were kind of like Switzerland over the summer.
No, I think I was Switzerland in
that moment
on his career stuff.
Okay, all right, in his career stuff. But watching it back now, how do you feel about that relationship? Do you think that it was kind of? Would you have been shocked if they made it to the altar?
I wouldn't have been shocked. The relationship as a whole just felt like two people who were not supposed to be together trying to make it work and just fighting and talking in circles and then micro-analyzing every situation that they would get in a fight just because we're on a TV show and you kind of had to. So I'm glad that they're both going their separate ways and hopefully are going to be very happy separately.
Yeah. Did they seem happy separately? Are you close? Are you close with Lindsay?
Yeah.
And Carl?
Lindsay is happy. I think she's seeing someone.
Yeah.
And Carl hasn't, I don't think, started dating yet, but he is excited about the future and he's lover boy. So yeah, I'm happy for both of them.
Yeah, definitely. Was it weird coming in as like an outsider, not knowing their relationship and being thrust into their relationship woes? I'm just here to party and have a good time.
It was just like weird because I didn't know them well enough to insert myself into their relationship, but just as like a new friend of Carl's, he kind of falls on the sword a lot, as Kyle says, for things that are not necessarily his doing. And so I just kind of wanted to like remind him, like, hey, it might not be your fault, it might not be Lindsay's fault, but like, is this how this is supposed to feel?
Sure, yeah.
Just as like any friend would do.
Do you feel like he talked around the issues to everybody else and not to Lindsay, like with his parents? Because that was, a lot of people had a lot of opinions on that scene about whether or not he should have invited cameras to film that, or if he should have told Lindsay more about that conversation. As a viewer, what was your kind of perspective on that?
I thought it was totally fine of him to not bring that up to Lindsay. And if you're going to bring it up to her because we're on a show and it's all going to come out, definitely like gather yourself and like say it and express it in a positive way that doesn't make her feel bad, because he just was like, oh, she's going to see this like 6 months from now. I got to tell her right now. And was like, okay, let's go do it. And like pumped himself up and then like just got dominated in that conversation. I was like, ooh, it was tough.
Watch.
Yeah,
it was
tough
hard
to watch. But it just goes back to like their communication just wasn't in sync at all.
How was your first reunion experience?
Oh, what a blast.
Really?
Yeah, it was intense.
Okay.
It was just bright and early, arguing. I'm sitting in between Danielle and Paige. They're just butting heads, screaming. Carl and Lindsay,
go at it.
Diligently arguing through all of their entire relationship.
Wow.
Tail of the tape. And I was just floored.
Really?
Yeah, I was just trying to like give my opinion where I thought it was necessary, but I didn't have any like beef to unpack with anyone, luckily.
Let me just grab my popcorn and take this in. Do you feel like at the end of it, everybody got the closure that they needed or wanted?
I think everybody aired their grievances, but I don't think everybody walked away like best friends.
No. Is there relationships that you think that can't move forward, or would it be really hard for everybody to kind of be in the same house together again?
No, I'm hopeful we can all be in the same house together again. I think people are reasonable, and there's levels of friendship. There's best friends and there's acquaintances, and we all share mutual friends, so we know that we're going to be in this house, and I think we're adults and can kind of move forward knowing that there's been issues in the past.
Sure. You think Carl and Lindsay can do it?
I bet they could.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting. Interesting that you said Paige and Danielle were kind of going at it. Was that because of the whole Craig situation?
You'll have to
tune in. I had to follow up. I knew you were going to say that, but I had to follow up.
I'm learning.
Yes, you're learning. You're learning. Did anybody give you advice going into the reunion?
Advice going into the reunion? I don't know who told me. No, nobody.
No?
No.
Just threw you to the wolves.
They were just like, don't die.
Don't die.
Yeah.
Who hung out after the reunion?
The boys, plus Amanda and Gabby.
Okay.
And we went to Corner Bistro and had cheeseburgers.
Okay.
And Andy was devastated that we didn't invite him. I thought he just is Andy, so would show up if he wanted to.
Right.
And yeah, we had a great time.
You had a great time.
Yeah.
Okay. Looking forward to this summer?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Oh, yeah. Big summer guy.
Big summer guy. Goals for the summer?
Yeah, maybe less casual dating and more intentional.
Okay. All right.
But I don't regret anything. I had a great time. I'm going to continue to have a great time and hopefully make some more new friends.